Hello and welcome back to Holopon Solo Sagas. I have to have my Rode mic up there, which is quite irritating, and I move around a lot, so it might make noises because I think my lapel mount mic seems to have broken. It's been causing problems and it's failed, so I'm gonna have to get a new one of those. That sucks. So today we are of course playing in Holopon Solo Sagas. We are of course playing solo role-playing games. Now what we're going to play today is one of the Orc Borg family. We've played Pirate Borg, and previous to that we played Orc Borg in 2023. We're going to play a game that I picked up at CanCon, that game being Orc Borg. I don't know if this is going to work with the background, but Orc Borg. Very nice little game by Grant Howitt, who also did Eat the Reich. We're going to do Orc Borg. I've also been working on a GME for Orc Borg because it's like most Orc Borg derivatives. It's a thin game. It's very lightweight on rules, very lightweight on other stuff, but it needs something to fill it out for the solo gamer. Hence, I've worked on some boards. So, premise: Orc Borg. You may not have heard of it. Basically, if you think that franchise, I think I can mention it. Warhammer 40k. Warhammer 40k. You have the Orcs, and the Orcs travel around rampaging. Now, these Orcs within Orc Borg, the Orcs we're talking about, live on the Derelict. The Derelict is a massive ship, one of the Space Hulks. It's basically an old Space Hulk. It's been travelling for an unknown period of time, and it's travelling to heaven. Once the Derelict hits heaven, the Orcs can rampage and kill forever, for an eternity, eating, drinking and rampaging for eternity. The Derelict has been travelling for so long that it has begun to have other ships will crash into it. So there are multiple hulls within the hull of the Derelict. The Derelict has an original, I don't know whether there's a picture of this, but I will put it up if I can, otherwise let's put it up here. So the hull originally started off, there were 7 clans, 7 tribes living within 7 sections of the original Derelict, but over time, so this is the original Doomhaven heading Derelict, over time other Derelict ships have smashed into it and have actually become part of the overall as it gets larger and larger, bigger gravitational mass, but it's old and it's falling apart and it's travelling towards heaven. So our Prophecies of Doom within Orc Borg are all about it striking heaven, and we have the same thing as with all the Borgs. Depending on where you want to start, you then each day you roll, and if you hit a 1, then you diminish in dice and you get one of the prophecies comes up. So we are going to play Orcs. We are solo gaming, as we are on this channel. We are solo gamers. Now, one of the things that I advise within my lovely little you should be able to follow a link by the time this goes up, which is 3 weeks time from when I'm recording it. There is enough of the GME up that you can use it. I will have learned how to format it using InDesign, never done that before, and making it purchase worthy, and there'll be a link to a drive-through publishing hub with my first ever thing that I've sold, which will be, now my intention is I'm going to put this up at an incredibly low price because so far I have only done for the 3 hull, which is a freezing cold area for tables for exploration. There are still other areas that I need to create the tables for, and as I create those, I will release those. It will replace the original one, so if you purchase it now at the whatever price I've set it at, you will get all those upgrades, but each time I release it, I will increase the price until it reaches the price that I'm aiming to sell it at. It's going to be quite big. There's going to be lots of tables. It's off the back of Solitary Defilement, so it allows you to do exploration, and that's the aim. I'm going to play using this. I've written a GME because the Cyberpunk one hasn't gone anywhere yet. So first off, one of the first things I advise within that is, from the ways I've played it, if you're going to play the Orcs properly, you will not be a solo Orc wandering around. You need a team of Orcs. So we are going to create, within this session, 3 Orcs to go exploring in the Derelict and go hunting and go raiding. So basically what you do as an Orc to survive and to get by, you raid. You go into other, see how the mic's doing? Yeah, it seems to be recording. So if you get any sound defects or it sounds bad, I do apologise. This is why an episode, I can't remember what I recorded. I think it was Across 1,000 Dead Worlds last week. It failed. I looked at the file afterwards and it basically was nothing, which is what it looked like it was doing just now. Hence the lapel mic's gone. So we will, you raid, you go off with your orc buddies and you go and you nick stuff. You go and nick beer, you go and nick weapons, you go and nick ammunition, you go and nick supplies. You go and raid each other to keep yourself entertained, or you go into one of the other hulls that have been connected to the Derelict. So there's a human one which is full of cultish spacer humans. There's sort of an alien worshipping one. There's a hive one. I've got the additional module, which is there's a dwarven hull which is smashed in just recently. There's some pretty elf ones. We've got we've got all of the factions that were in Warhammer 40k. At least one of their ships has smashed into the Derelict at some point and become part of the Derelict. So we are going to generate 3 orcs and go around and find the treasures that we can find using the GME, which is basically solitary defilement with tables that I've come up with, and the rules of Orc Borg. So we are going to generate some orcs. Standard Orc Borg, 4 stats: presence, strength, agility, toughness. It's Orc Borg though. Hit points are hit points. We have miracles instead of omens, and there's various things. So there's music, so you can have various different music to try and define what you are. Different types of armor and weapons. It's all very much 40k orcs. If you've ever played orcs in 40k, you'll know what I'm talking about. So we'll do each orc. It won't take us long. We'll do the orcs, and then we're going to be in 3 hull, because it just so happens that randomly I rolled which of the main hulls to do. I haven't done any of the additional ones yet. I've only done 3 hull, which is, as I said, it's like a frosty wasteland. So it's very much along those lines of, did I do a brief description of 3 hull? An ice cold box of a hull where the heating coils work hard but are old and failing. The orcs have grown big and barrel chested. All who live here, well, most of them, pray to the blood gods for heaven. Giving sacrifice is their way to give thanks. 3 hull. This one has got 20 plus 3 for presence. 4, 5, 6, 7. -1 for strength. Very bad agility. 9, 11. 0 for agility, so not as bad as with strength. And toughness. 12, 15, 20 for toughness, which gives us a +3. So this is a tough, aware orc. Hit points is a D8, plus or minus their toughness modifier, which gives us 10 hit points. So so we are quite a tough. This one is quite a tough little orky. Origins. So let's see what this orc's origins are. We've got like stuff to write that into descriptions to give us a sort of descriptive background. Sole survivor of an antifreeze drinking cult. All right. So sole survivor of an antifreeze drinking cult, which goes along with the high toughness and being in the cold area. We've got physical is a D12. This one is 11. Hull King loyalty brand on chest, so tattoo chest. Then he has random stuff, which is a 9. Cigars, a bunch of cigars. So we all know that the iconification of the iconic orc smoking a cigar. What sort of armor do we get? If you start with power like a prayer or a ruin? No, we didn't. So we do a D4 for the armor. This starts with heavy armor, which is -4 for the armor, minus D4 rather, sorry. But we have -1 attack because it's heavy. And what weapon do we start with? We do another D12 for our weapon. And we are wielding a power cutter. So a power axe basically, which is a D6 weapon. That is basically it. So we're thinking now, but what I did do within here is I have got a nice easy table to generate nice orc names, which uses a D20, a D6, a D4 and a D12. Basically, that's on dirty mouse pad. Put that back like that. So you roll these and we line them up as D20, D6, D4, D12. D20 reads off the main name. So our main name is 10, which is Grishnak. Grish, that means we use the second set of tables, with the 4 being a 2 of the, and then a 4 being of the gravy beard. Yes, I've created a bunch of random tables to randomly generate slightly amusing orc names. So we have Grishnak of the gravy beard, who's a sole survivor of antifreeze drinking cult. Maybe, well, we can't have more sole survivors of antifreeze drinking cults, can we? And has maybe the antifreeze name, antifreeze logo tattooed on his chest. No special powers. Has got weapons, which is a power cutter. Constantly smokes cigars. Wearing heavy armor. That is Grishnak. Next. And then we'll go through and we will slaughter our orcs. Next orc is 18, which gives us a +3 for presence again. We're very aware orcs. Maybe you need to be aware on the derelict to stay alive, otherwise things come up and get you. So we've got 15, this is a little bit more of our strength orc. Agility, 10, we've got 17. This orc's meaty as. And then we have for our toughness, 10, 13, +1. D8 +1. So the good thing about this is I'm expecting our 9 hit points. I'm expecting these orcs are going to sort of go down quite quickly. Where did this orc originate from? To an acolyte to a recently expelled Yell priest in one of the great bellowing halls. So ex-acolyte. Maybe this can have powers. Ex-acolyte to a Yell priest. That might come in useful. And what is this one's physical feature, which is a D12? As a 9. Lots covered in tattoos. And we have what stuff? What do we got? 3d6. That would only go to random prayer. So how do we get a +2? Oh, that's because I rolled the thing. It's a D20. It's 3 times. I read that wrong. So the other one gets some more stuff. It's D20 3 times. Also gets a 17 blowtorch, which is the first one, which is a D3 damage. And a 2 firebomb, which is a D6. 1 use, of course. That 3d6 was money, so we do 3d6 of money, which is 16 tech. Tech is just bits and bobs, so they trade with bits and bobs to actually sort of buy stuff. And so the one, let's name this one first. We'll give this one its name, so we know who we're talking about when we're giving them stuff. D20, D6, D4, D12, D20, 14. Snorg, first set of tables, 1, the 12 is Snorg the Gristle Chewer. So we've already got Grishnak, Gravy Beard, obviously has a big beard with gravy in it. Snorg the Gristle Chewer, obviously takes ages chewing his meat. So we already can use these names to sort of give ourselves ideas of what our orcs are going to be like, to easily latch onto these orcs and then kill them. 4, boombox. Okay, so this is playing music a lot, which might be difficult. Or when they start combat, it might start playing music. What was that? 2, firebomb. It's cold on the derelict probably mostly, and a 3, and a drum. Okay, this one likes playing music. Clearly, this is a noisy one. So we get a D4 for armor. Power rig. Alright, so a power rig, which means that it needs to spend 3 tech to power it, minus D4. We need to spend 3 tech each time, like each hour, each period of time. Otherwise, it's DR plus 4 on anything Snorg tries to do. What is the weapon of choice that Snorg is carrying? Is a 9. Oh, cool. It's a 2-handed weapon called a wrecker. So basically, it's a 2-handed heavy weapon. So what it looks like? Yeah. It looks like something that used to be on a dreadnought. So it's an ex-dreadnought weapon, which is ranged, but it's slow. And then we need a tech, which is 3d6 tech, so it's not much. So that's 10 tech. You need to spend 3. So basically, Snorg can operate his power rig for 3 hours, and then Snorg is basically going to climb out of it and have to try and cart around the wrecker and the boombox and everything. And our third orc, though we could have 4 orcs. How long are we going for? Let's stick with 3 orcs, because I think otherwise we've gone too long. So we'll do our third orc, and then next session we will go through 3-hole, exploring 3-hole in a raid and seeing what we can come up with. Unless I can get some more tables done between now and next week, which I probably can, because I'm going to focus on it. So 10 means that this has 0 presence, whoever this is. We've got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 plus 1 strength. Loads of agility. 16, 19 plus 3 agility. And it's also, so I'll do the same thing solitary defilement. Well, I have the same thing with my, basically because it's based off the back of solitary defilement, but mostly silatory defilement, which is the cyborg version of the solo GME. So it uses moves very much along the lines of, basically, there's a long line of moves which comes from, is it called Apocalypse Games? Oh, I can't remember the name. Yeah, I think it's Apocalypse. Roll 2, strong hit, weak hit, fail. That. What are we rolling? Toughness. 12, 14 plus 1 toughness. D8 hit points for whoever this is. Not a lot of hit points. 3 hit points. Somebody's dying. Basically, if they die, it's not difficult to, if that was very loud, I do apologise, it's not difficult to get another orc to take their place. Let's do a name for this orc whilst we've got them. D20, D6, D4, D12. We have Zern, second set of tables. Zern, wielder of, and then 8. Wielder of Mournful Bellows. So it also goes, as this one's always whinging, hasn't got much hit points, that he's going to die soon. Origin. What was your origin, fella? 3. Loyal bodyguard to an infamous, now dead hulking. Okay. Was a bodyguard, did a bad job, was kicked out. What's his physical features? 10. He's got a massive arse. So Zern, ex-bodyguard, always complaining, has a humongous backside on him. Stuff. Let's do Zern might lose his money. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 has got 9 tech. That could keep Snorg going for 3 hours. Zorn, mate. So one of the other things about it is a lot of the rolls when you do have a weak hit or a foul, then part of the probability is that the orcs will just start to lay into each other because they're bored. We have, so what armor is Zern? Oh, he's got power rig as well. Oh, I don't want, oh no, power rig. All right, we've got power rig. We'll have power rig. I think Zern is not going to be able to power his power rig, and he's going to have to get out of his power rig. We're just going to say none. Zern, with big arse, can't even fit in a power rig, so he's going to have none, but a +1 to attack. He hasn't rolled his equipment yet, but I'm going to roll his weapon first, which is a D12. has an 8, which is just your standard cannon. Oh no, so the wrecker is not ranged because it says when something is ranged. So it's not ranged. So the wrecker is a close weapon. But of course, a cannon is ranged. Presence plus 6 rounds. So it's got a cannon, D8 damage, presence plus 6, which is 0. It's got 3 rounds, so it can fire 3 times. Alright, what stuff does Zern have? If Zern had magical stuff, that would work. 16, a rivet gun, which is D4 and has D20 shots and has 6 shots, 6 rounds. And 2 more, which is a 10, which is a big freaking hat. It's got a massive hat. So he wears the massive hat to try and cover the massive arse and make like distract people. And 8, has a pet, an alien dog beast, which has got 5 hit points, a morale of 5, sorry. Does a D6 bite and a presence roll to tell it to do something. And there are our 3 orcs. We have 3 orcs: Zern, wielder of Mournful Bellows, Grishnak of the Gravy Beard, and Snorg the Gristle Chewer, who are all going to set out within 3 hole where they live and attempt to go raiding and get some stuff. We will start, so Orc Borg, we will start the raid. That's just going through doing some character generation. We will start their raid next week, where we will decide upon the difficulty of the raid. We'll only do a small raid, I reckon, to start off with. So we'll start off with a small raid size and then get them to move through, and we'll get a job. We've got a section at the back of the Orc Borg book to give yourself jobs. It's like simple jobs to do, which is really, it's mostly just going raiding, or they might just go exploring and see what they can come up with. If you get a chance, I'll put the link in the thing, just everything's affiliated. You can grab the GME if you want to, it should be up at the base bargain basement price as it is now, and you can grab Orc Borg, which is available on drive-thru and iCho. Getting it in physical copy is really difficult. It just so happened that I saw it at CanCon and I was managed to get the physical copy. Beyond that, thank you so much for watching me generate characters for Orc Borg. Return next week. And so as you can return, why don't you subscribe? If you're already a subscriber, thank you very much for being a subscriber. If you're not yet a subscriber, subscribe, and then you'll be able to see when next week's comes out, and we will go tearing up parts of the Derelict. Thank you so much to the Adventurers Guild for all of your support, and I'll leave it at that one. We'll do a short one this week. That's going to be quite short, not bad. Easy to edit, isn't it? So yeah.